it's hot. Whoa! Hey there, Mission Control. Well, today we're down over at the neighbor's house, and we're going to be working on his greenhouse. Before we get going on the greenhouse, we need to get his brand new Troy-built, 208cc overhead valve rototiller all put together. I'll put a link to this down in the description below for those that are curious about getting one. I think it's about 18 inches as far as its width goes. And very excited to get this thing put together so we can rototill in some dirt to the greenhouse, kind of start bringing it back to life. We're going to do some irrigation work, just a lot of stuff going on. So let's get this thing pulled out of the garage here, and we'll start putting it all together. Well, unfortunately, in shipment somehow, the tire went flat, which then I brought back up to my house. I have an air compressor, and I got it all back to life, but then it feels like it's losing air again, which would be horrible if a brand new tire had a hole in it. So I think I need to go back up to the place here, my place, and get some soapy water and re-energize this thing with some air, because it got really soft again, which it shouldn't have done. So let's do that. It's a good reason to have the quad out. All right, so I'm up at the shop, and I just put air in it. Let me get the lights on here. Give you a better shot. And sure enough, this is defective from the factory. Let me show you. Right there. You guys see it? Look at that. That's all cut up. And it's going in all different directions. Look. Oh, we got directions this way, directions. It looks like maybe the pallet got through there and chewed up the tire. Well, that's going to change my plans. Well, as you can see, we got the tire fixed, took it to Les Schwab, our local tire center, and had them put a tube in it. It's the only way you could repair this particular one without buying new rubber. We're also calling Troy-Built and saying, hey man, what's up with this? You sent us a bad tire up front. I'm pretty sure what happened is during shipping, the pallet got broke and the pallet went through the side of that. That's what it looks like to me. As you can see, I got the rear arm put on. It only took 2 bolts there, cotter pins here for the control arm here, and then a little a clutch control here to be tightened. Got some fuel and oil into it, and we'll see about giving this thing a start. Looks like choke to me. It looks like a run right there. Do we get a on-off valve anywhere? I don't think so. Looks like it's just on. Oh, we got to make sure that's in the run position. It's in neutral. All right. Well, that's pretty easy. That's a great sign. Whoa, it's kind of in between. All right, now the only bad part about this is I have a long way to get this thing up to where it needs to be. I don't have a pallet on the tractor right now. It would be easy to move it up there. So that would be the easier thing to do. But hey, let's give it a good run here. Make sure it all works, right? Back down there. Almost there. Slow it down. It's a little windy out today, if you can't tell here. Can you see? Yeah. Well, there you go. There you go. I'm just holding it down. You can see it's pretty gusty out. So I'm not going to move the camera out from behind the truck. I'm using the truck today because I got to get fence posts, and quad's just a little too small for that many fence posts. Here's the game plan. Okay, right behind you, it's going to be a vineyard. Just small vineyard. We're going to put in 10 rows, and we're going to experiment with a bunch of different vines and techniques and stuff to find out what really works good here. It's been designed already. I designed all this. There can be up to 4 rows of 10, 4 zones for irrigation, because this is dry land, and we don't have the ability to get a big sprinkler out here, and it would dry up the well. It would suck everything dry. It'd be horrible. So what we're going to do is drip irrigation. It's the best way to do it. And vines, they don't they don't take a lot of water. In fact, it's better if they have less water. Once they're established, that they get challenged with drier environments. This is actually a great place to grow grapes with the winter and with the summer that we have. So we're gonna put 10 rows in, just to, again, play around with. And I have the first one marked north-south. Everything's gonna be north-south on the compass. And I've got my twine out there, you know, it's blowing in the wind. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the rototiller down, and we're just gonna till out the path, the center line of this whole thing. And then we're gonna add a little extra dirt, some good 50-50 compost mix that we got from a soil place. The reason for that is a long time ago, this land was wheat farmed, and they farmed the heck out of it. And that's why we have, it's one reason I should say, why we have this chalky soil like this. So we're gonna add some good stuff to it, and then we're gonna be putting wood chips over the top of that, kind of using the back to eat in concept. We're not gonna be rototilling wood chips in, we're just gonna rototill the good dirt in. So I wanna take the rototiller out there right now and just see how it does, see how it performs. Pretty sure it's gonna beat the crap out of me. And we'll go from there. Depending on how it works, I think what I might do is I'll go get the additional fence posts, and we'll set the other. I actually have the next one, so I have the first two ends set, so I can pull the string and get my straight lines there. Having crooked lines, that's just bad. So I got the first two set, so we got 8 more to do. Depending on how this works, I'll probably stop that, go get some more fence posts, set up the other lines, and then string them and rototill all of them, and then bring the new dirt in and rototill all that again. We'll see. It really depends on how this dirt is. I think we're right on the edge of it turning into cement, but with the rain we just had, hopefully we get in there and it gets kind of soft, so we'll see. What I'll do, because it is so windy, again, I'm not going to take the camera out because I already had it fall over once, and hey, this is my only camera. I'll do some rototilling, and then I'll take you guys over there and show you what it looks like. Again. Ooh, that thing rocks. Woo, boy. I don't know about that. Whoa. She's on the top. Whoa. All right. So I had it going forward, which is probably cultivating, tilling soft soil. Ah, hey, it even says it. Yeah, go. Like a beast. Oh, it's so soft. I don't know if I'm gonna get it straight this first time. I'm gonna do this 2 times. Really gonna. Oh yeah. Oh, who's the daddy? Troyville. Go Troy. Get your rototill on. Really, still got some moisture in it, and got down there 7 inches. The reason you do that we want to do this, is because when the soil gets so hard, it's just like concrete. So we want to give the roots a fighting chance. We've tried to put stuff up at our place so many times, and if we don't dig in a big enough hole, if we don't give it enough loose dirt, that summer comes, dries everything up, even when you got water on it, and it evaporates just so quick, and those roots just suffocate essentially. There's no oxygen down there, they can't go anywhere, there's no worms or good stuff back in the soil yet. So really happy we did this. I think I'll probably put the good soil right where the plants are at, instead of doing the whole thing. Yeah, I think that's the right thing. And then we'll get the wood chips on top of all that, so they can start decomposing, and then we'll get some compost next year and just keep adding to it, make it look real pretty. But I think for right now, I'm gonna go get some more fence posts and set the next lines, and then we'll get them all done. It took me down and back twice to get what I wanted, and since it's on a hill, it's hard to keep that straight line. So I spoke about in a previous video having a fence post puller. I mean, this is just, you gotta have one of these if you're gonna be doing T-posts. These are called T-posts for those that don't know. Fence at all. Even if you're putting them in, you want one of these. So you want a fence pounder, which I'll show you coming up, and a fence puller. And the reason should be pretty obvious, is if you make a mistake, you got to get back out of the ground, and they don't like coming out of the ground easily. Oh man, I hope the wind doesn't blow the camera over. got it right behind the truck, but we'll see. All right, so just because of speed now, the sun has gone down, so it's less windy, but a gust comes and gets us every now and then. So you just get it set, and it's kind of like a ratchet, and it just pulls it up out of the ground. Easy, squeezy. Like, now this is why you don't want a tractor. So if you're in a tractor, you got to get off the tractor now. You got to unchain that. You got to throw your chain up in the bucket, get back up on the tractor, and while you're getting back up on the tractor and putting it in gear and doing all those things, I'm already on my next post. Then you got to pull up to this thing, and you got to get off the tractor again, and you got to chain it. You got to get back on the tractor, and then you got to pull it. You got to get back off the tractor again and repeat, and I am already on my third post. So if you're wondering why I'm not using a tractor, hopefully that illustrates the point. We're following a contour that goes up the driveway here, and the spacing is 8 feet. Just gonna use our wheel counter here, mark them off, and then we'll get a post in. But these are not permanent posts. These are just marking posts so that we know where to rototill, and we'll use them to set our straight line. Then we have to drill the actual end post. We're gonna do an 18-foot offset here, 10 feet in from the road, so that if we want to put a fence up in the future, we can, and then 8 feet plus on top of that for a total 18 there. So you can get the tractor around the fence and have plenty of area. Oh, I screwed that up. I did, screwed it up. This is a great way to work on your addition tables. Multiplication and addition. Oh, there we go, start right there. Reset. I think at first you were right, but then I think, oh, that's not rolling. Then I think I switched to 6 accidentally. 8. Yep, that's right. I sure did. That's a no on that one. There we go. 18. Okay. Well, the next part of this is really fun, and you guys are going to hear why. So also, you want to set these posts when the ground is soft like this for obvious reasons. Again, it's just, you try to set these posts in summer, you're in for a world of hurt. Okay, now I'm not worried about coming in this way again, because this is just a line. We're just creating a line. That's all we're doing here. Making an 8-foot spacing, and we'll get the measurements in here as we go, or after we get all the rototilling done. I'll mark everything. Go. I'll mark everything after the rototilling's done with all the proper spacing of where to set all the T-posts, and we'll use these to set the straight line for everything. The lighting's going to be interesting here. It's beautiful. I'll try to, it's hard to get it without the sunspot. It's just so pretty. But here's 7, 8, 9, and 10, and they're all lined up, all nice and pretty way down there. Hard to see them. Little white posts there. There's one right there in the middle. Right down there. There we go. And these are on the east-west line. These posts are on the east-west line. That's why I was pointing into the sun, because the whole thing runs north-south, and then this is east-west. And then these are all going to go along the driveway like this. It's going to look really nice. Just got to get them all plowed up now. Oh, well, it's been quite a few hours now, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5 done. Ends up being a out and back once you kind of figure out how to get that rototiller doing it just right. And boy, on that side hill, there must be a secret to rototilling on side hills. No matter what I do, it always wants to go down the hill. You start high, it still goes down low. Start low, it goes down low. No matter what you do, it wants to go downhill. Everything wants to go downhill, but if it wasn't for that, I'd actually probably be able to get them pretty straight in the first shot. But as it is, it's they kind of bow down the hill, and then I gotta cut it down and make it all straight. But I'm liking how it's looking. I'm glad I did this because I'll be able to see how the rows are all gonna be set out and everything, offset from the road. Glad I did it because it's aerating the soil so the roots can spread out that first year, and then they can go down as it gets soft in fall and next spring. So I'm really happy with this, and it kind of makes me, let's see here, you know, coming out and working in the earth is just, you know, the Bible tells us it's our lot in life, essentially, especially for men, to earn our food by the sweat of our brow, working in the soil. And I think there's peace that comes with coming out, doing some hard work. I am sore, but it's good kind of sore. I mean, it's sore, don't get me wrong, but coming out here, tilling up the grass that looked all pretty and tilling it down in so that it can decompose and go through that cycle. I guess, you know, it's kind of like us, you know, we seem to go through cycles. Some days I have good days, some days I have bad days. Bad days help me have better good days. You know, so cycles are a good thing. I guess it's just part of how God designed everything. And I can see his work out here, see that happening. And as I learn more about agriculture, more about farming and ranching, the more I see those cycles for all organisms, all beneficial insects, the worms that get in here. You know how excited I was when I went and put those trees in up at our place, dug a big old shovel full of dirt and worms. And we haven't had those in a long, long time, ever since we've been there. So seeing those things show up, that means cycles and processes are starting to work, is really, really fulfilling. And seeing God's handiwork in it all is well, it's amazing, actually. It's easy to lose sight of the things that matter when the world's as crazy as it is, but you come out and do some work like this, and it really helps you appreciate and understand what really matters in life. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to end it here. Tomorrow I got a lot of work to do, so we'll get another video kind of wrapping this all up, getting some posts put in, and starting to get some vines. Actually, they kind of showed up unexpectedly, so I'm kind of rapidly trying to get this all done so I can get some vines in the ground. And yeah, so if you did enjoy this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe. Don't forget you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram for some more up-to-date stuff, since these are a little behind real time. And if you really like what we're doing, you can help us out on Patreon. Helps keep the channel going. So thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. This is The Real Martian, out. For all you city folk, figured I'd give you a little piece of heaven here just to enjoy.